Hi everybody. I am feeling better today. Uh, I guess it helps to take allergy medicine when you got so many allergies. I'm going to be addressing that in a video for people. What I think, well, my allergies, I went to the Mayo Clinic and they had a skin test done. And I've always kind of been an indicator, like a precursor of what's going on, like diseases and whatever. It seems like I always got something first. Um, and I'm older than many of you, so don't think like, oh God, she thinks she's special. Oh, no, no. I'm just like the precursor. Oh, first off, like my socks. I love my socks. Wish I could find more, but I can't. Um, all right, I'm going to talk about my heritage today to let you know. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to light the rest of my cigarette. Hang with me. And smoking does decrease pain, but that's not why I smoke. Well, sorta and sorta not. I started when I was 5 and then quit, and then started again when I was 12 and quit, and started again when I was 15 and quit, and started again when I was 17 and quit for a year. Started again when I was 18, and then I quit for 10 days one time when my first granddaughter was born, and never met any of my granddaughters till Joya was born from another mother. My second son had children, so then I was able to meet her, and she's like, well, they're all the light of my life. It's like, okay, I'm going to go on my mom's side first. We have about a little more. Well, my sister did the test for our heritage, which we pretty much knew anyway, but we have a little more than your average 1% of African. We've got about 3%. Then it goes, I'd say, the least next to that would be my Polynesian. So then I'm going to go through my list here and tell you who I am. I'm English on my mom's side here now. I'm English, Irish, Scotch, Scotch, Irish, French, and then the Polynesian, Danish, Dutch, Powhatan, and Sioux, and German. There's two tribes. The Powhatan were the Native Americans that came up from South America. They're both tribes of Algonquin, um, which is Pocahontas's tribe, and I do somewhat resemble her. It's funny because about me with all my different heritages in there, I can kind of resemble different things at different times. A lot of people can, but I'm like Heinz 57 for sure. Um, okay, and then German on her side too. So that's her, and my dad is Black Irish, which is the Spanish mixed with the Irish. So, Black Irish, Spanish, German, and Czech. Czechoslovakian. Hence, I think my Danish or Dutch knows the tip that goes up. You can see like different features from different countries that I have in me. So, like, hey, family, literally, all my bloodlines can be traced to every single country in this world. Every country. And I think maybe that's why God made me to kind of try and bring peoples together. And I really am good in a crowd. I can like end a fight or start a fight. Leader. I'm a leader type person because that's just how I roll. I have to. I'm strong like that. So I'm supposed to get out here and tell you who I am and show you my gray hair. See gray coming in here. It wouldn't look bald if it wasn't gray. I'm sick. A lot of women, so then they'll dye their hair and we're all pretty and we put on makeup and we pretend we're like 20 years old. I quit that shit in my 30s. Tried it a couple times here. I was a model, and I was a model who wouldn't smile. I used to work for Wards. They wanted me to go to Vogue Junior, um, but smiling was in for a while, I guess, but it wasn't my thing. Okay, whatever. So I had my share of makeup, and uh, even courses to apply makeup and whatever. And my modeling courses, that was one of the things that were included in that. And I was only in one book. I was in the name of our modeling agency was Wendy Ward. And Wendy Ward was the daughter of um, Ward's uh, department store, and they had a catalog. And I had the opportunity to model a maxi coat and maxi boots, if you remember them, anyone, the long ones, and a big furry hat. And then when I was done, I got a discount on buying the stuff, which was awesome because the coat could zip off into a flat coat or a jacket or be a long coat, and it was tweed, and it was just a badass coat. I look like a spy, kind of my thing too. So, just wanted to tell you who I was and touch base with you. I'm going to come back later. I've got a list of my allergies, like I said. And this has like heavy metals and everything else that I am allergic to, but I think if I am, everybody else is too. And this comes down to potatoes, like mashed potatoes. You think, oh, potatoes pretty good if you don't put a lot of junk on it. And I used to hate French fries, and I'm thinking, what's up with that? I like mashed potatoes, but wasn't really into my sucks. Wasn't into my French fries like everybody else in ice cream. I was like, what is this gross shit? But I'm allergic to chocolate and vanilla and potatoes. Potatoes gave my legs such cramps that keep me up in the middle of the night. Like my toes would start curling, and then my body would start swelling, and then like I just like totally freaked all out, and a lot of things do that to me. So, and I heard, I think it was Seven Spalding mention that he had leg cramps. I'm thinking, did you eat potatoes? Because my son Jonathan, I've been trying to get him to understand food allergies, because if I have them, and my granddaughters, I've got a knucklehead of a daughter-in-law that has 3 babies that are my blood, and I'm trying to get her to understand the severity of food allergies. She's like, oh, well, I've got Brenya, Gwyneth, and Evelyn, named after a dear friend of mine, Evelyn. And I don't even know her birthday because this woman does not talk like a normal woman. She yells, and it's just not my thing. Whatever. It's I think she's divorcing my son anyway, but I hope they don't. I hope God blesses their family. I have but she did some things to me that just a daughter-in-law would never do. That even in my worst of times, I would have never dreamt of, and just weird, weird people. So enough dissing on the old bat, but I wanted to let you know. I think a lot of you like the Irish ones and ones that have that. I can, and native, but like I'm feeling it. It's a really weird world, and I know we're all blood, and I know we're all related, but like how closely, and what are you, and where'd you come from, and what kind of habits did your parents, and all the heritage of our ancestors, what do we do? Do we kill people? Do we eat people? Do we run and try and get away from the cannibals? I mean, who were we? Well, I'll tell you, God took my bloodline and he mixed it up all over the world so bad that when I came back together, it was like a container of everybody. And so I'm a container of everybody. Every single one of my bloodlines can be traced and linked to the beginning. And also, what I want to tell you with the German heritage, and I think a lot of you are aware of this, perhaps you're not, that the blood of Cain went east, and then they went back up into Norway, and then They went over, they were the original Romans which invaded England and that type of thing. The worst blood I ever ran into was Czechoslovakian blood, which I have inside me. And those Transylvania ditch witches is exactly that kept the so called elite, um, the illuminated ones, because they stole information and kept it from everybody else. That's the blood of Cain, and that's where they went. Then cousins married cousins, then cousins divorced cousins to remarry each other in another country and change their name and keep that hidden, like from Whelan, Wesleyan, Weast. Um, ooh, ooh, calm down, Barbara. Okay, okay, I think that's about it for right now. I'm gonna maybe get on here later with my allergies, make a documentation for my granddaughters and my children and everybody else. I think you can really benefit from what the Mayo Clinic told me. It's not really much you can do about it. Much love. I'm so glad you bared with me yesterday. Thank you. Not just not taking my allergy medicine, but just a lot of things on my mind. I'm trying to get information out in different areas for Christ kids. There's the 144,000, and some of them are struggling in big ways, like with words and circumstances and desires and different things that they got to overcome. And I'm really good at overcoming. That's what I do. I know I look a little weird. I'm like all bugged out, but you got to understand my adrenaline is like it's like always there. And some days I look a little older or something, but it take a second to piss that shit off, and I'm up like a goddamn panther. And that's just me. Cause and God told me to rest. He said, "You rest." He said, "Don't be quiet, but perhaps you can find some help and help you get these words out here, your words." And so, if you think anybody can benefit from this, I will never monetize. I think Doug thinks perhaps I will. Um, I know I'm working for YouTube. Maybe I would. Maybe if there's something that's so valuable that I actually could make money off of. Not being able to work in my life right now has been a great big burden, and that's a very long story. Totally not my fault. Anytime I ever tried, I was shut down, haunted, terrorized. Those are some stories that the things that happened to me in my life by the people that are closest to me did to me to make sure I would fail. So, like, things going back to dealer school. And then when I was dealing, I got sabotaged and I could have proved it. Not stealing money or not. No, actually, it was after I went back to the same casino and I was a hostess. That was after my son tried to burn down the house when I was trying to work and I couldn't find a babysitter and Doug would not help me. So, and I was working night and day, um, rotating shifts, for a long time. It drove me crazy. So then I went back because they gave me grace and I went back as a hostess. Well, during that, this man set me up in a manner that was disgusting. I was so disgusted that day when it happened to me, I couldn't even speak about it. And I left there and I thought about going back to the elders and talking to them. And I thought, no, piss on it. Maybe someday. Because I know they believe me because, I'm just like, that's the way I am. You can look in my eyes and you can see me. And, but I decided not to. I decided, well, if people are going to try and screw up my life when I'm working at freaking Hardee's, paying off a dealing school so I can make more money than anybody I knew at the time. Um, I thought if people want to try and mess that up, I mean, when you got your old lady bringing home $3,000-4,000 a week, that's some good money. Uh, but I went to school for it. I paid for it. I worked for it to get there, and but finding people to help me take care of my children and stuff, that was another issue. So anyway, I did say peace out, and I know I ramble on a whole bunch. And one more look at them socks. Doggone, can't find any more. Um, Maybe I will. I got them in the dollar store, so um, they were like lifesavers when I had my broken toe because they were little and soft and all that good stuff. So, um, okay, guys, yeah, my bones snap, crackle, and pop, but if I hadn't kept my muscles strong, I used to do like even up to 6,000 sit-ups a day, and with weight machines and shit. I'll do all them men aerobics. I still run. My driveway's sort of a hill, and I can beat just about anybody I know except my horse up that hill. And I'm not a long distance runner. I never have been, but my endurance is paced, and or full bore with adrenaline, and then God's carrying me because I've had to. It's not flight or fight. I had to fight, 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 and I didn't have the chance for flight. So, not bragging or complaining, just telling you this is me, my bloodline. Peace again. Happy Sunday, y'all. We'll talk soon. I think I'll get on here and talk about them allergies. I think it's important for you guys. Love y'all. Later.